20th century and 21st century is no different. We've had thousands of failed medical theories in the 20th and 21st century. We're going to go over some of the most egregious, okay, the ones that have killed billions of people. 5,000 years ago, when a doctor had a failed theory, he killed 10 people. Today, when a doctor has a failed theory, he kills 1 billion. You think about it. Let's start out with obesity. You know, the theory for 100 years has been that obesity is caused by eating too much and lack of exercise. That's the short version of it. And following that theory for 100 years in prevention of obesity, eating less, exercising more, treating obesity, exercising more, eating less, what happened? What did we get for that? We're number one! We became the number one obese nation in the world following that theory, because obesity is due to a nutritional deficiency. We're going to go into more details in a minute. Type 2 diabetes is not a genetic disease. We're talking about the genetic theory now. Type 2 diabetes is caused by a single deficiency of a mineral. We've known that for 70 years. It's not like it's new. And we can make your church family, we can make your town, we can make your county, we can make your state, we can make your country type 2 diabetes free in 2 months if everybody would just do the same thing. We're working with some of these small island nations to accomplish that. Cardiovascular disease has nothing to do with cholesterol and saturated fat. There was a sales campaign to sell a product, and we'll get into details in that in a minute too. Demonizing cholesterol and saturated fat was a sales campaign to sell a product. It was 1,000 miles from the truth. In fact, the deficiencies of cholesterol caused by getting on a cholesterol-deficient diet and a cholesterol-restricted diet and cholesterol-lowering drugs like statin drugs causes a shopping list full of diseases. Cholesterol deficiency disease, we'll get into them in a minute. And then arthritis is a simple mineral deficiency, except for rheumatoid arthritis. You throw in an infection, which we can kill with antibiotics in a couple of weeks, because they can cure syphilis in a couple of weeks of penicillin. And then all you got to deal is with the damage to the joints, and it goes away very quickly. Back thousands and thousands of years ago, the average person, they'd see epidemics and horrible diseases which were written up in the Bible. Plagues killing millions of people. And they, of course, knew that it had something to do with that they had done something wrong and ticked off some evil spirit, or maybe ticked off God or something. And the cave drawings go back, these paintings are dated 28,000 years ago. I don't know if that's correct or not, but that's how they date them, 28,000 years ago. They show shamans treating people. Astrology was around before organized religions. Today, still in the newspapers, you find the astrological charts, and there's people who are devout Christians who won't go out the door without looking at their astrological chart. I find that kind of amazing. This is the one that I love. You've all heard of witches and witchcraft. In the first couple of chapters of my new book, Epigenetics, you'll find quite a bit of information on this, because the whole witchcraft thing was driven by medical doctors. How do you get rid of competition? You go to the church and you say, the church is supposed to be healing people, not Grandma Ruthie. Grandma Ruthie is using herbs, like English hawthorn to cure congestive heart failure, or white willowwort to cure, or at least get rid of arthritis pain. And so the church would send out the Inquisition Committee and torture Grandma Ruthie until she confessed to being a witch. And then for her confession, they'd burn her at the stake. And the doctor was happy, went out and had a martini and played golf. And the theory, which was taught, this was still taught in 1920 in all the medical schools in the United States, is like 5,000-year-old theory. It goes back to the Egyptians. There's the 5 humors: blood, phlegm, urine, yellow bowel, black bowel. And when you had a disease, whether it was an infectious disease, they didn't know that back then, whether it was, like the plague,